I am so excited to welcome Miss Francesca Fields. She has become a huge inspiration to me. She is carrying her fourth baby. She's living on like the beach. Hello, I'm up here in Iowa where it was snowing last week. And she gets to spend her time loving on her children. She's got 3 of them running around acting like little crazy people, right? That's what they do. While making her 4th one, creating a huge business. Her team was all over the leaderboard that we read here earlier today. They're making waves. They are taking no prisoners. They are growing with exponential growth. And it's no wonder because she is a Rockstar recruiter herself, and she is training her team how to be Rockstar recruiters, especially in the time where people are looking for a plan B, as we talked about earlier today with Sarah. So without further ado, I'm going to welcome Miss Francesca Fields.
Hi, everybody. Oh my goodness. I'm so nervous. Okay, I'm going to share my screen and hopefully. Okay.
We can see both of your slides. There you go. Looks perfect.
Am I good? Okay, yay!
You're good.
I am not computer savvy and I'm not great at PowerPoint. So anyways, hello everybody. I'm Francesca Fields. I'm a Ruby ambassador and I've been with Q for April 23rd was actually my year anniversary with this company, and the excitement and the momentum is greater than ever. Like I feel so incredibly blessed to be a part of this company right now that I can like barely like handle it. It's so amazing. So I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of an introduction of who I am. I know Kristen talked a little bit about that, but I live in Florida. I have 3 kiddos and then 1 is due next month. So if I sound like I'm running a marathon and I'm sitting in an office chair, it's just because I'm that pregnant. So by trade, I have my master's in social work. I worked in the child protection field as an investigator for a lot of years, and then started having babies and wanted to be at home with them. And then fell in love with the industry of network marketing by accident, actually. But nonetheless, I fell in love with it as what I thought was an option to have my cake and eat it too. To be at home with my family and have that time that Kristen was talking about, but also make a significant financial impact on my family. And I truly, truly believe in this industry as a way to be able to do that. A couple things about me. I feel like some people will get into the comparison game and they'll say things like, well, I'm not that extroverted. I'm an introvert. I don't have that many friends. You know, yada, yada, we've heard it all. I want you guys to know I'm not a salesperson, like the biggest one. So you guys were talking about that. Tara was making me laugh about her personal training stuff. I am the opposite of an extrovert. Like to be like extroverted, like at conventions and stuff, I have to gather it in me. And I think Marielle and I have laughed about this. You will find me in the bathroom often, like recharging. Sometimes I'll just sit on the toilet and just recharge because it's like so much energy for me to be extroverted. So I am an introvert. I would rather be at home or just with a small group of people. And so you do not have to be a big personality or an extrovert to be successful in this type of industry. And the other thing is, I am not a salesperson. The closest job I've ever had to being in sales was when I was working my way through college and graduate school as a waitress, and they would tell us to upsell like the drinks and stuff, like offer a margarita, and I'd be like, how about a nice free refreshing glass of water? I'll bring you some lemons and sugar packets, you can make it lemonade for free, I won't charge you. Like, I'm so bad at sales, and that's not what this is about either. So just a couple things to keep in mind, that I truly feel like this recruiting can be a skill, not necessarily, sometimes people have talent, but it's also a skill, and skills can be learned. They can be practiced, you can hone in on them, and you can make them better, and you yourself can become a better recruiter. So, All right. There we go. Okay, so recruiting is a lot more, in my opinion, and I've been recruiting at a pretty, I guess, fast-paced. I've been in this industry for, I think it's been about 5.5 years now. I've been pretty passionate about recruiting for the last 4 years, maybe a little bit longer, and I feel like I've been kind of honing in on that skill for 4 years. And there's a couple things that I've learned along the way. Recruiting is not so much about just slapping a post up on your Facebook wall. It's not like throwing spaghetti and seeing what sticks. There's a lot of work that can go in behind recruiting. And one of the things that I've found to be most successful with the ability to recruit is building relationships and starting to add value to people's life. Let's be real, like if you've been somewhat of a really selfish person and you only care about you and taking, you're probably not going to have that much luck trying to recruit people, because I'm not trying to be mean, but like when you're the type of person who builds relationships and loves on people and adds value to people's life, and they trust you, and they're attracted to you and they're drawn to you, that's what's going to help you be a better recruiter. And so there are ways to gain influence with the people around you. Like research has been done on the fact that you can increase your influence. So if you have people on your team, or maybe it's you yourself, who feel like I've done all the things, I've taken all the actions, and I'm just not having any luck, I'll bring it back to influence. How much influence do you have? How much are you working on building relationships and really pouring into people so that they will trust you and they will listen when you come to them with something? Influence can be learned. Like I said, there was a time in my life where I had zero influence. There was a time in my life where I was that person that people were like, she is so selfish. Like we don't like that. I had zero influence with the people around me. But there are ways to turn that around. So a couple of the things that I researched on how to gain influence, and there are also books out there if this is something you want to dive into further, connecting emotionally with people. And I think Tara did a fantastic job. A lot of her training can be tied into this, of asking questions and being interested and being invested and not making assumptions based on what your opinions are, but truly trying to find out what it is they think, what it is they mean, go off of what they're talking about. Like, I think it was perfect when she said, well, what's your idea of a pyramid scheme? Because it's so easy to take what my idea of a pyramid scheme is, answer the question based on that, and totally miss the boat. So connect emotionally with people and be curious about others. Make people feel good, pay them a compliment, say something nice to somebody, tell them why you're thinking about them. If somebody tells you that they're starting a new job tomorrow and they're really nervous about leaving their baby in daycare for the first time, for example, make a note on your phone to check in with them at lunchtime to see how their first day is going, right? Love on people, make them feel good. If you like the way somebody does something, tell them. I really like smells, which is so awkward because when people smell good, I'll tell them, but the people do think that's a little bit weird, but like that's the way of me being like, you smell fantastic. Like, I really enjoy this right now. Just trying to make people feel good. So maybe find other ways to do that, because I tend to come off as awkward when I do it, but you know what I'm trying to say, like pay compliments. High-powered body language, sitting up straight. I'll correct my husband's posture all the time, because if you're slumped over with your shoulders down, and you don't have an air of confidence about you, people aren't going to take you seriously. And so one of the things I feel like I've kind of had going for me is just a good posture my whole life, because my mom taught me that really early on. So high-powered body language, making eye contact with people, telling a story, so connecting with people. That goes back to connecting emotionally, being vulnerable, asking for favors, and being charismatic by making people feel important. So we kind of talked about that. So Those are a couple different ways that you can incorporate into your relationships with people and how you talk to people to start gaining influence with those around you. Here's a little bit of a daily goal. Make an effort to build a relationship with someone around you. Be thoughtful and considerate. So like I said, if somebody that you're close with is going back to work and they're really nervous about leaving their kid at daycare, make a note to follow up with them. Just be considerate. Just start thinking of others and how you can meet their needs. And if you can start doing that on a daily basis in every situation that you're in, you will start to gain influence with people and people will start to trust you. And so when you come to them saying you found this amazing opportunity, they'll be more apt to believe you that you actually have and that you're not trying to get something out of them. And then do something nice for someone each day and make them feel special. Whoops. Okay. The other thing that I hear a lot, and something that I kind of learned through this industry, it did not come naturally to me. It's a skill, which is good to know because we can all build skills. Building relationships and having a constant flow of warm market. So how many times have you heard, I've talked to everybody I know nobody else, no one else to talk to, and it's like, wow, that's not a good place to be in. You do not want to join a network marketing company and literally talk to every single person you know and then just be out, like just be dry. Like you don't ever want to be there. So 5.5 years into this industry, I will tell you guys right now, I have tons of people that I can still talk to because I have made a conscious effort throughout the years to build a warm market at all times. There is never a time in my career, I guess, that I am not building a warm market out of my cold market. I am always trying to make new relationships, gain trust with people, gain influence with people. Even as I'm working through my current warm market, I'm doing it on the side with my cold market so that when I'm out of talking to everybody in my warm market, my cold market is now warm. And here we go. I've got a whole handful of people that I can talk to, and then I go and I do the same thing. So how can you do this? There's lots of ways. With my current life stage and with the quarantine, I guess, it's been easier for me to do this online. It's been easier for me to do it in Facebook groups. And so that's what I've done for the last 5 years. I have gotten into Facebook groups where I've had common interests with people, usually like due date groups, because I've been pregnant for the last 6 years pretty consistently. Yours might be something else, or you might prefer to do this face-to-face in person. I've got 3 young kids. I am at home a lot, and so I do it online, and that's worked really well for me. But basically what I do is I find a group of people who I share a common interest with, and I start to build a relationship with them. I do not spam them right off the bat with my business. I start to gain trust. I start to build relationships. I learn about their life. I learn about them. I learn about their family. I become a trusted person to them, and I truly care. And that's what helps me take a group of people that I've never actually met in real life, and I start to build relationships and gain trust and truly care about them. And so then I constantly have people that I'm able to put into my funnel, even years in this business. So there's other ways to do it. If you've got like networking groups that you can join, or church volunteer activities, workouts like at the gym, whatever you can do to get yourself in front of a new market and start building relationships, you can do that. Okay, the other thing that I think we should all be working on before we actually get into the actions of recruiting and reaching out to people is mindset and law of attraction. So law of attraction is the ability to attract into your life what we are focused on. Okay, so my mindset when I first started network marketing, I don't know if anybody struggled with this or has anybody on their team that struggles with this, but I still hear it all the time. I thought, I am going to annoy my friends. No one will ever want to join my business. I just felt like people would all think it's a pyramid scheme, like Tara was talking about. This is the mindset that I had. And so how do you think Who do you think I pulled into my business? Number one, I was not leading with the business because I was scared of what people were going to think about me if I was in a pyramid scheme. And number two, they could smell the fact that I wasn't confident from a mile away. And so anybody who would have been a strong business builder was not attracted to my mindset. And so when I came to Q, I tried to make a conscious decision to do things that I wish I would have done when I accidentally started a business. And one of those things was I wanted to be very confident in what we have here as far as our compensation plan, the leaders, the duplicatable system was huge for me. I literally, Tara, got on a phone call with her for 5.5 hours and basically grilled her and interviewed her. I think Kristen hopped on too. It was like 2 a.m. And I was like, what kind of systems do you have? How do you duplicate? How are people successful? Because to me, I wanted to be really, really confident in what I had to offer people. And after I got off that phone call, like I said, it was 2 a.m. I went down to my husband and he was like, this is going to be huge. And that's the mindset that I've taken for the last year. And that's grown and grown and grown because I know what we have here is gold. We have the ability to help people come in who have never done network marketing before. And because of our systems and because we can duplicate, because of the leaders we have here that we're able to edify and bring in, anybody can do this if you're willing to be coachable and learn. Okay, so that's my mindset. So when I started talking to people, when I joined this company, I was excited, right? They were drawn to my excitement. I was confident. They were drawn to my confidence. I knew nothing about the products. I really knew nothing. I couldn't even explain the compensation plan for like my first month. All I knew is it was really good, right? More importantly, I was edifying my leader, Tara, and I was so confident in the systems we had here that people grabbed onto that confidence and jumped in with me. I think it's Mr. Jake Spencer who says ignorance on fire. That was totally me. I was ignorance on fire. I knew nothing, but I was excited. And so check your mindset. Get excited about what we have. Do not focus on the things that you think we need to change here. Focus on what we have and the possibilities. Okay, so let's get into actually recruiting up, which is really important, and having a bold invitation. Okay, so one of the biggest tips that I can give people and that I give to people when we do our goal setting calls when they first join and we launch them is you want to recruit up. You want to find people as quickly as possible that you think will do, will grab onto the system, who have influence already, that will be successful. I call them Class A prospects. So the faster you recruit up, the faster your business will grow. So talking to Class A prospects, this is really important. This is why your mindset matters. Will require confidence and boldness. So this is why before you ever do this, you've got to check your mindset. You've got to get confident. You've got to get excited about what we have. Okay, so here's a couple things to look for and what I tell people to look for when they're starting to make their list of people they could reach out to about this opportunity. Somebody who's a self-starter, right? And this doesn't have anything to do with whether or not somebody's been in this industry before. This is just personality traits of the people in your life. Somebody who's a self-starter, business-minded, entrepreneur, somebody who's coachable. So somebody who is willing to learn this simple system that we have here and is willing to do it. Discipline and work ethic. So somebody who can be self-disciplined. Previous success in business, that doesn't mean network marketing necessarily. It could, but it could also mean previous success in a traditional business. And then positive attitude and influential. Those are the things that you can kind of be thinking about and looking for when you're making your list of the people you want to reach out to join you. Okay, Personal opinion, and I, for years in this industry, thought I'm a millennial. We don't use the phone, we text. And I was like, that's completely legit. Like, none of my friends want to get on the phone. We're just going to text each other all the time. Okay, but I was paying thousands of dollars for coaches who were telling me you have to pick up the phone. And I was like, no, I'm a millennial. We don't do that. So one of the things that I decided to push through with my discomfort when I came here was to pick up the phone and call people, like dial their phone number, let them hear my voice. And so if you are not doing that, if you are not actually calling people on the phone, I would encourage you to really try to break through that mindset and start picking up the phone, because they can hear your excitement, number one. That's really important. It's professional, and it will set the standard for your team. What you do on your first touch with somebody is what they are going to duplicate for their entire business. You are literally setting the example and setting the standard. And I have seen way more success with the closing rate of people who actually get on the phone or on a Zoom call like this face-to-face. Okay, your job when you do get on the phone is to edify your leader and excitedly invite them to take a look at the opportunity and talk to your upline. I don't want you to use the word upline, but that's the gist. And so I tell every single person on our goal setting call, listen, you are not the expert. You don't need to know anything. Your only job, and I'm like, listen to me, your only job is to edify your leader, edify your friend who brought you in, and excitedly invite them to talk to this person. That's all you have to do. And it takes the pressure off the person who's coming in. And it also is part of the system that we follow that duplicates really, really well. So ask your leader for an edification blurb. I give all of my recruits, I give all of my level ones, the people that I'm working with, an edification blurb so they know what to say about me when they're actually reaching out to people. And my leaders do the same thing with their new people so that people know what to do. So if you're a leader in this company and you're bringing people in, come up with a short edification blurb of yourself and give that to them so they know what to say. A lot of times people don't know what to do to edify their leaders, and so they need those step-by-step instructions on how to do that. So for example, the edification blurb that I give my team is, Francesca is a former social worker and a stay-at-home mom of 3 kids who is now making 6 figures in this industry. Super simple. Yours could be anything. It just needs to be a positive edification. Okay, so an example of what to say. And like I said, I'm going to put it out there that phone is preferred. Second would be voice message so they can hear your excitement. And third is a text. Okay, so this is an example of what I tell my entire team of what to say when they're prospecting someone. I am the queen of keep it simple, end with a question. They do not need to know your entire story when you're reaching out to somebody on the first hit. I have gotten messages from other people in other companies that, or anywhere, whatever, where it's so long and has so many emojis in it that my eyes start to cross and I'm like, I can't do it. I'm overwhelmed. And so my biggest tip to you guys is to keep it simple and end with a question. When you end with a question, they're more apt to actually like answer you because you're inviting them to take part in the conversation and you're not just word vomiting and spewing all over them and they don't even know what to do. Okay, so here's an example. Hey, blank. So I recently started an at-home business with a ground floor hemp and health company that is allowing me to bring in a stream of income from home. My friend, I'll just use my own, my friend Francesca, who's a former social worker and a stay-at-home mom of 3, who's now making 6 figures in this industry. Do you have a few minutes to check out a quick video to see if this might be for you? I think I left out a sentence in there, so that's awesome. So we're keeping it simple. We're edifying our leader, and then we're asking if they have a few minutes to check out a video because we're always going to use a third-party tool, right? So the 3 videos that I send my team when somebody says, hey, yeah, I would be interested in that. And also see here how I'm leading with the opportunity. I'm leading with the confidence of the ability to make a stream of income from home. Right now, that's really important. And I truly think, I've talked a lot with Tara about this, my team has grown incredibly, especially through all this mess that we're going through right now. My team has grown exponentially. And I think it's because we've never really been product focused, because I set the standard in my business to lead with the business. And so we've been leading with the business this whole time, and we're bringing in serious business builders who are ready to duplicate, who are ready to make money, and who are serious about it. And so we've been growing like crazy. And so when they say, yes, I'm willing to take a few minutes to watch a video, there's 3 videos that I'll send. I won't send all of them, I'll choose one. One of them is the CEO message from the app. If you guys are not sending that video to people, you are missing out. That is an incredible tool to show the heart of our company from Mr. Mark Wilson. I have only had extremely positive responses to that video when I send it out, and it's like 4 minutes long. And that's in your app, copy and paste, super easy. There's also a couple really short recorded IQs. One of them 7 minutes, one of them's 14 minutes. I will not go over 14 minutes on a video I send to somebody. It won't catch their attention. And so we stick to those 3 messages as a team, or those 3 videos as a team, to keep it really simple. Okay, so if the third-party tool brings more interest, this is what you can say to bring in your upline with ease. Because the next thing you're gonna do after you send a third-party tool is get your upline involved. Because we are not the expert. We're sticking to the system, which will duplicate, because people are watching. Remember that. So if you're talking to somebody who's really successful and you come off as an expert who knows all this stuff and who's explaining all this stuff, they're gonna think to themselves, I'm really busy. I don't have a lot of time to begin with. I don't really have time to learn all this stuff and do all this stuff with every single person I'm trying to recruit. I don't know if this is actually for me. But if they see you on that first touch, sending something really simple, then sending a video of somebody else explaining it, then bringing in somebody else to help, they're gonna think, all right, cool, I'm gonna have a lot of help, I'm gonna have a lot of resources, there's gonna be a lot of tools. And so it's really important to stick to that. Okay, so here's how you can seamlessly add your upline, and if they're interested after the video, you can say, great, remember that friend I told you about who's been really successful? I'd love for you to hear her story. When do you have a few minutes to chat with her? And then set up a time to chat. Obviously, get with your sponsor first and make sure it coordinates, but that's how you can seamlessly bring in your upline to talk with your potential. And this is the importance of third-party validation. And so I put at the bottom, remember how you recruit duplicates. What you do with people, you are basically recruiting and teaching people the first time you ever reach out to them. So it's really important to stick to the system. And they're looking at you from touch 1 to see if this is something they even can or want to do. And so keep it simple and duplicatable. Okay, always stay in phase 1. So I have coached a lot of people on my team when we started being in insane momentum, and then sometimes people will start to fizzle out. And the thing that I'll notice the most about that fizzle out is that they left phase 1. They stopped recruiting. They got into management mode. And I've been guilty of this too. I've caught myself doing it, where instead of being the one out on the front lines personally recruiting, instead I'm just with my team. I'm like with my team all the time, helping them recruit. And then all of a sudden the team starts to fizzle, because when there's no new blood and there's no new people in to get to executive, it starts to slow down. So the number one reason I see a leader's organization go stagnant is because they've entered management mode and they stop their personal recruitments. If you are one of those leaders and you're trying to bring life back into your team and you're trying to pick up and gain momentum again, I would set a goal for yourself to start recruiting at least 2 to 3 business builders a month, yourself, level ones. It is my personal goal every single month to recruit at least 3 business builders a month, no matter what. And I have a really, really big team, but it's important to me to constantly, to be on the front lines, to be an example. And so I try to bring in 2 to 3 business builders a month myself. And what this does is it brings excitement into your team. So when I can develop a new executive, not only does it bring life back, does it bring excitement back, but it builds volume for the people I've already recruited. And that brings excitement and motivation and momentum. The speed of the leader is the speed of the team. Okay, I don't know if I talked too long or long enough, but maybe I'm right on track.